For a time, Americans had one idea they really believed in: buy a home, build wealth, live the dream. It sounded easy, safe, like a thing your parents thought it was true. Their parents made their whole lives around it, and maybe you still think it is. But what if the main way Americans built wealth isn't working anymore? What if the house you're struggling to pay for, mortgage that keeps you awake at night, the investment everyone says you need, is not building wealth, but slowly taking it away? Just listen to me, because by the end of this video, you might never think of owning a home the way again. Let us go back in time. After World War II, buying a house was not about money. It was about being a citizen. It was about wanting a life. It was the right thing to do. A house with a fence, 2 cars in the driveway. The value of the house going up and up. For a long time, this way of life worked out well. The price of houses went up little by little. People earned money. Mortgages were easy to handle. One person working could take care of their family. Then things started to change to IT. First, it happened slowly. Then it happened all of a sudden. And now many Americans are finding out something that surprises them. Buying a house does not always mean you will be wealthy. In some cases, buying a house can actually make you poorer. That is not even the most surprising part. The idea of a house is still the same. A house with a fence, 2 cars, and the value of the house going up. The reality of owning a house is not what it used to be. Section 1: The illusion of appreciation. We have all heard this statement. Real estate always goes up. If we are being completely honest, over a very long time, real estate often does go up. There is something that people do not usually talk about when they say real estate always goes up. You have to adjust for inflation. You have to adjust for maintenance. You have to adjust for property taxes. You have to adjust for insurance. You have to adjust for interest. When you do all of these adjustments, that big increase in real estate value starts to get a lot smaller. If we look at the time between 1890 and 1990, the price of homes in America barely went up more than inflation. The price of homes barely went up more than inflation. The big jump in home prices that we saw after the year 2000 was not normal. This kind of growth in estate is historically unusual. Here is something interesting. Most people who own homes do not actually get to keep the money that their home increases in value. Why is that? It is because they are living in their home. You cannot use your kitchen to buy things. Unless you sell your home or borrow money against it, the value of your home is stuck there. This is not the end of the story about real estate. Section 2: The cost nobody calculates. Imagine buying a home that costs $500,000 that you pay 10% of the price up front. Then you borrow the rest of the money at an interest rate of 7%. Over 30 years, you will not pay $500,000 for the home. You will pay to $1.10 million. That is correct. It is not a mistake. This amount does not include other costs like property taxes, home insurance, repairs, renovations, and fees for homeowners associations. You will also have to pay for a roof, replace the heating and cooling system, fix plumbing leaks, and repair cracks in the foundation. What is even more surprising is that every dollar you spend on these costs is a dollar that could have been invested somewhere else. The money you invest can earn interest over time, and the way interest adds up over time can be very harsh. It can work against you or for you. Something unexpected happened that surprised economists. Section 3: The opportunity cost explosion. Let us say of buying, you invested the difference. Down payment invested in an index fund, monthly savings between rent and total homeownership costs. You invested an average of 8% return. Over 30 years, you could end up with more liquid wealth than the average homeowner's equity. You have wealth. You have wealth. Your wealth is not tied to an asset in a single zip code. Then something unexpected happened to high-cost cities. Renters who invested consistently quietly surpassed homeowners in net worth growth. This is not because homes did not rise in value, because leverage cuts both ways. When home values rise 3%, markets return 8%. The math starts shifting. The math does not care about tradition. Wait, it gets deeper. Section 4: The debt trap era. In the 1970s, the average home cost 3 times the median income. Today, in cities, it is 7 to 10 times the median income for a home. That is not growth. That is distortion. Home prices and the median income for a home are not balanced. The median income for a home did not increase much as home prices. Home prices did go up. A lot. What filled the gap between the income for a home and home prices? Debt filled the gap. People used mortgages to buy homes. They also used incomes to buy homes. Some people used adjustable rate loans to buy homes. Some people made minimal down payments to buy homes. Here is where things get dangerous. When most of your worth is tied to a home that is heavily leveraged, you are not building freedom. You are building fragility with with your home. One job loss can be a problem. One health crisis can be a problem. One recession can be a problem. The dream of owning a home becomes a liability. That is not even the most surprising part about homes and the median income for a home. Section 5. The wealth concentration shift. For a time, many Americans in the middle class built wealth mainly by owning their homes. But over the past 20 years, the biggest increases in property value have mostly benefited large investors, private investment companies, real estate investment trusts, big corporate property owners. These investors usually pay in cash. They make deals in quantities. They then rent the properties back to the families who cannot afford to buy them. So now something unexpected is occurring. Homes are no longer places to live. They are also investments, and regular people who want to buy homes. They are competing with companies from Wall Street. The idea of the American dream was meant to be good for families. IT is now more focused on making money for businesses. But the biggest change is in how people think about homeownership. Section 6. The identity trap. Ask someone why they want to buy a home. They'll say, stability, security. It's what adults do. What if stability now means being able to make changes easily? What if feeling secure comes from having money that can be easily accessed? What if having choices is the new kind of wealth? In a world where jobs change quickly, industries change overnight. Remote work allows people to work from anywhere. Locking yourself into a 30-year commitment might not be freedom. It might be the opposite. Here's something that nobody expected. The growing group of wealthy people in America right now are highly mobile professionals with investments in many things. They are not necessarily people who own homes. Wait, we haven't gotten to the most surprising thing yet.
Biggest revelation. Here it is. Homeownership still builds wealth, only under very specific conditions. You buy a house below what you can afford. You get a fixed interest rate on your mortgage. You hold on to the house for a time. You take care of the house. You live in a neighborhood where homes are likely to increase in value. You do not spend money just because you have it. Miss a few of those conditions, the math does not work out. Here is what changed. In the past, it was common for people to be able to meet those conditions. Today, it is not common. Houses cost a lot of money. Interest rates are high. Insurance is expensive. Property taxes are high. It is not certain that you will have a job. The margin for error is gone. This means that buying a house is no longer a way to make money. It is a risk. Risks can go either way. That is still not the most important thing, because the American dream was never about having money. It was about getting. Here is the uncomfortable truth. We have been measuring how well we are doing by how big our house is, instead of looking at whether we have the freedom to do what we want. The real American dream was not owning a house. It was having the time to do what you want. Somewhere along the way, we got confused. We thought that owning a house was the same as having freedom.
So does this mean no one should buy a home? No, it means the rules changed. Blindly repeating advice from 1985 in a 2026 economy is dangerous. The new question isn't, is buying always smart? It's, does this purchase increase my freedom? Does it strengthen your balance sheet or stretch it? Does it create margin or erase it? Because in today's economy, wealth isn't built by tradition, but it's built by strategy. And the families quietly winning right now, they're not chasing the biggest house, they're protecting flexibility. Investing consistently, avoiding ego-driven purchases, thinking in decades, not dinner party status. The American dream isn't dead, but it has evolved. IT no longer lives in granite countertops or two-car garages. IT lives in financial resilience. In liquidity. In diversified income. In the ability to walk away from what no longer serves you. And here's the thought I'll leave you with. If the goal was never the house, but the freedom it was supposed to represent, then maybe the smartest question isn't, how do I buy one? But instead, what actually makes me free? Because the future belongs to those who understand the difference. And once you see that, you can't unsee it.